We're glad to have you back. You're still watching FCT Brief, and we still have with us in the studio Andy Yih-Ping Liu, and we have been discussing exploring collaborative ways to development through bilateral relations. Now, you've been telling us how, Taiwan hopes to invest into Nigeria. You've spoken about AI, electric cars, and all those glowing, promises. But a lot of Nigerians are concerned, and they are saying maybe this agreement or this relation may just favor Taiwan or favor majorly Taiwan alone in this situation. What assurance are you giving Nigerians that there is going to be equal benefits for both parts, both Taiwan and Nigeria?
Right, because Taiwan, just like Nigeria, we are equal member under the World Trade Organization. And Taiwan has been regarded by Madame Okonjo-Iweala as the top 20 best model for economic and industrial development. So Taiwan play by the book. Okay. We are good students. We don't cheat on anyone. And that means Nigeria can be rest assured that once the agreement being negotiated and also being passed by your federal government, and I'll be signing on behalf of my government, and your commissioner in Taiwan will sign on behalf of your government, then that guarantee has been put down, and it will be registered in the World Trade Organization. That means it's the promises and obligation both sides have to stand still. So I can never guarantee that none of our people will not cheat anyone. We have 419 people in Taiwan too. But that agreement will give assurance for both governments to make promises to their own people that this agreement has been signed. So please, if you want to have a visit to Nigeria, you can go ahead with that. And Nigerians want to visit Taiwan, then come to our mission for visa, for business visa, and go to Taiwan. This is what we call a mutual communication channel being built. Then whatever people come up with a good deal, with a good investment deal, then we'll have a good arbitration mechanism for any dispute come out. This is what the international trading has been doing. So investment means continuous trading, continuous kind of money put in, and they're having good trading. So that is one feature. The other feature is that if 1994 investment protection agreement had worked for over 30-something years, then the renewed agreement will definitely give a better protection for the future generation to do business and do investment. You have a huge population doing good business in Taiwan. Now, they're doing a lot of export from Taiwan to Nigeria. So if those people have not been treated well in Taiwan and earning very good benefit, they will not stay in Taiwan.
Our population is also our strength. I think yes. one good thing that Taiwan can also tap into our population strength. Yes. But let me still stay with the Southeast aspect. Of recent, the president signed some bills into law talking about the regional development commissions, and you have the Southeast. Now, beyond just dealing with the federal government, the various states with the various capacities, you also have the commission. Now, how can the private sector, because when you have this deal with government, at the end of the day, it is about the private sector. How will they key in, looking at the specific regions, the various capacity, the creative capacity, the industrial capacity, the population, how can they key in to the potential in Taiwan and strike good business relations?
Right. Besides from governmental to governmental, kind of institute to institute relation, our trade relation established well and very solid based on our biggest trading agency in Taiwan called Taiwan had already established very well collaboration with NACIMA. Okay. Yeah, NACIMA is the biggest umbrella organization in Nigeria, and also with different Chamber of Commerce Industry, like Abuja Chamber of Commerce Industry had already have that kind of agreement also. So with umbrella organization of NACIMA, that is for private sector. So we have already had private sector to private sector for the last 40 years. They've been doing very good business with Taiwan. But if you talk about major investment, then the agreement of investment promotion and protection have to be signed first and get renewed so that both governments can tell each other's own industrial society that this agreement has been signed. We encourage to go to Nigeria, or your government can encourage people to go to Taiwan for further discussion of how to collaborate with that. I think they will take some time for people to understand, but at least 1994 agreement had been already outdated, need to be renewed, and we were approached by your federal government wanted to renew
you talked about the agreement that needed to be signed. What is delaying it?
Sorry?
You talked about the agreement, that some agreement needed to be signed.
Yeah.
So what is delaying that particular agreement from being signed?
Okay, that is the first one we need to renew. But we have a lot of, in the 1990 or early 2000, like agreement for either for healthcare business or either for like a vocational training exchange program. All these have to be renewed. Because each of the administration from different presidents, they might have different initiative or different kind of priority. So we need to cope with that. Because Taiwan and Nigeria, we are both democracy. We need to have a new president to set up new agenda for their own kind of administration. So we need to have a list of agreement that signed before, then we can review and then we can see what we can be done now.
Now, you spoke about Taiwan's interest in Nigeria's natural resources. Like you acknowledge, we have a lot of natural resources, talk about lithium, talk about gold and all of that. I would like to know what's most attractive for Taiwan. What are you, planning? What is the most attractive investment for Taiwan at the moment?
Right. First thing we need to know is that Taiwan is a small island. We need to import everything, natural resources and energy. So that means Nigeria's natural resources and energy are the main target. But agriculture products also are very high interest because in 2022, we import quite a lot of your sesame seed and also chestnut to Taiwan and grind it into sesame oil and chestnut oil, and we export to China. Because our food security is highly trusted by the Chinese people. So they trust our Taiwanese sesame oil to be used in their household, to be used in their daily life. So there are quite a lot of things that we can talk about. I always suggest Nigerian government to think about Taiwan and Australia's kind of a relation for the past 20 years. Every year, Taiwan and Australian government would have a bilateral consultation on the permanent secretary level or even on the minister level to talk about three major things: agriculture, energy, and resources. Mining, energy, and agriculture. So what Taiwan has experienced for 20 years of collaboration with Australia can also be used in Nigeria, because Nigeria, you are the biggest resource outputting country in Africa. So what Taiwan can collaborate with Australia can utilize the same model in Nigeria. So probably oil-related product, agriculture, your raw material can import to Taiwan, and then we can export those high value-added products. At the same time, our company can come into Nigeria, helping to set up factory to utilize your local agricultural product, put it into high value-added product, and then export. This is what we call a mutually beneficiary way.
So it's just about agriculture. You're not considering lithium, because lithium has been generating a wave lately.
Yeah, lithium is
especially for solar powered energy.
Yes, lithium is something very special because lithium has been utilized most of the time for the car battery, especially for the electrical vehicle. But Taiwan is taking the lithium into a higher level because the current electric vehicle mostly run on the liquid state lithium battery. It easily they caught fire, easily they get broken. So Taiwan and Japan had developed into what we call the solid state lithium battery, which will not caught fire, much safety. This is the fourth generation of lithium battery, and Taiwan, Japan are now working with Saudi Arabia, with Germany, to put into the new generation of safety for the electrical car battery. So we, Taiwan, have the capacity and the know-how to utilize your lithium mine. You can dig your lithium, sell it to us, we put it into good use, and we pay for the good market price. We don't do any illegal mining.
Okay, let's look at this other aspect. You talked about education, you talked about energy,
yeah.
And beyond just dealing with Nigeria, let's also look at Africa. How do you translate the capacity that you have? How accessible are these to Nigerians and to Africa? Talk about education.
Yeah.
How easily can Nigerians access further education, for instance, in Taiwan and all that? We talk about agriculture. What are those specific capacity? We just talked about energy. Yeah. Nigeria is challenged. Yeah. What are those things you did in your country that you turned it around and we can impact?
Okay, three major features. One is for the schooling system. But schooling system need to have a lot of support, either from the parent or from the government. But after elementary school, then you can have a high school or vocational training. So this is what Taiwan had gone through. Elementary school system, high school, and then university. So in each of the state, that Taiwan have put into a lot of investment and also encouragement for young people to study into what you wanted to become in the near future. So Taiwan technology, not just for hoping everyone to become an electrician or become a scientist, you can become an agricultural expert. You can become a car dealing or car repairing, or if you want to become an AI specialist, you can go into that. So it's an encouragement of overall development of a nation. So what we can provide to Nigeria as experience is that we have provided quite a lot of scholarship and also training program in Taiwan. But we do not just encourage people to go to Taiwan for that study. We also set up training center or vocational training program in Africa because we have a diplomatic ally called the Kingdom of Eswatini, used to be called Swaziland, inside of South Africa. That is the country that we have diplomatic relation with. So we set up a lot of mission, medical, agriculture, and also vocational training center in there so that we can teach and help to establish the workforce locally so that they can teach their children, so that they can teach their young people. This is what we call the train the trainer program of what we've been doing. So not just in Taiwan, but here in Africa, we also have been doing that for 3 to 4 decades already. So this is a model that we really like to have the Nigerian delegation to take a look at it in Africa, not necessarily to go all the way to Taiwan. If you still want to visit Taiwan, you're all more than welcome. But somewhere here in Africa, we've been doing some tailor-made program for African people in their own country. So this is a model that we think will be utilized to have the Nigerian to think about that.
I would like to for us to talk about investor confidence. How would you say President Tinubu's administration has made the Nigerian economy attractive for investment and also conducive, for investors to feel confident in putting their money in Nigeria?
Yeah, so open for business is what President Tinubu has been saying all the time. This is very important. So for the last 3 or even 4 years, we have numerous Taiwanese business delegations coming into Nigeria, not just in Lagos, though, Port Harcourt, and also in Abuja. We set up like trade show and participating all kind of exhibition. It demonstrates our people have already started to feel high interest of coming to Nigeria with or without the government encouragement from Taiwan. We have already seen how President Tinubu had done so much in promoting Nigeria to be attractive for people to come in. But people have to come to Nigeria for their own eye to see what's happening. Infrastructure development, also for business climate, and also for investment hub, they set up here in Nigeria, either in Abuja or in Lagos. It is vibrant. And you have to know that almost 1 month ago, the biggest delegation from Taiwan to participate in an international conference in Nigeria is the real estate development. That means our businessmen started to look into your real estate development in Nigeria already. So not just for industry, not just for trading, even for real estate. our people have sent a big delegation, 20 people coming to Nigeria to see that.
Okay, let's talk briefly about the visa policy
yes.
in Taiwan. So somebody wants to do business over there, somebody wants to school over there.
Yeah.
How easily can they access your visa?
Right. Our mission functioning exactly like any embassy. Without the name of the embassy, of course, we have the section of political affairs, section of economic affairs, and section for visa affairs. So our mission issue visa in 3 different types. The first one is the business visa. Business for Nigerian is natural. So business visa, anyone who's been invited to go to Taiwan to either participate on the trade show or exhibition, or anyone who have come to our mission looking for inquiry into like business opportunity, we have the Taiwan Trade Center under my supervision will help to link up and do the matchmaking. Anyone who get a proper invitation or proper business opportunity to go to Taiwan, we issue business visa. The second type is what we call degree study or student visa. We have already have hundreds of students to go to Taiwan or hundreds of training programs happening in Taiwan, and government have been sending people to Taiwan. And the third one is what we call the family reunion visa. Is for any Nigerian lady married to Taiwanese man or Taiwanese lady married to Nigerian man. This is what we call a family reunion visa. It is 3 types, but the major one is always the business visa. You have hundreds of people go to Taiwan every year with the kind of either international convention happening in Taiwan or from individual visit to Taiwan or as a delegation.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Andy Yih-Ping Liu. How do you say thank you in Taiwan?
Thank you so much for
Thank you so much for joining us on the program. We definitely look forward to the benefits that will come from this collaboration with Taiwan, between Taiwan and Nigeria. It was a pleasure speaking with you this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Well, that's it on our program. We're glad that you could be a part of it. We'll now hand you over to Lagos, where Veronica and the rest of the team are standing by to continue with the rest of the show.
Thank you to Jesu and Eshomomo for that timely interview. We're back in Lagos. It's time for Trending Now.